Welcome to Empowered Kids TV and to Village Talk. I am so excited to have you here. You're here because you know every family has the potential to be great and you're willing to push the boundaries of your mindset so that you can create the family of your dreams. Today, we welcome back one of our amazing coaches, Sue DeCaro. And Sue is a heart-centered coach that helps parents create more harmony and connectedness through boundaries, discipline, and confidence. A mom of two, she has helped families take advantage of their strengths to reshape family interactions in a positive way. Sue's training as a parent coach combined with her own family's experience enables her to approach every client with empathy and to craft a tailored approach to achieve their goals. Sue's mission is to help bring more laughter, more love, and enjoyment to our families. You can find out more about Sue's amazing work at DeCaroParentCoaching.com. Sue, welcome back to the village.
Thank you.
Today's question, Sue, comes from Sarah. And Sarah writes, many people give their children money for doing different chores around the house. Some people believe that children should not be paid to do chores. My kids are 8 and 10, and I want them to do more around the house. How do you feel about this topic? Should we pay them or not? This is a good one.
Sarah, what a great question. And this actually leads me to one of the things I'm really passionate about, and that is tuning out the noise outside. Because the Smiths and the Kellys and the Joneses all do whatever it is they do for their family. Mm-hmm. But Sarah, when it comes to your family, I recommend you thinking about a few things. What are your values when it comes to chores? What do you want your children to do chores for? Do you want them to do chores because you want them to earn money? Or do you want them to do chores because helping out around the house is important to you? Or both? And I think really breaking it down to what this means for you and for your children and the ages of your children is really important without listening to what's going on around you. So I had the same question when my kids were probably your age. And I looked at it, and again, this is just me, so you need to think about these questions for yourself. But I looked at it as my family being a team. And the team worked to do chores together. And I empowered my children to do the chores as opposed to assigned them the chores. So, you know, when you say, I know as a child, my mom made me empty the dishwasher. I hated to empty the dishwasher. So it depends how you come about this in terms of empowering the team to be a team and work together to create an avenue where things get done and you're not doing it all yourself, because of course we know no mother likes to do that. So asking your children what they might like to do around the house that would make them part of the team. What do they see in terms of chores that they think would be something they feel like they're at an age and stage of development that they can take on as a responsibility. Mm-hmm. So that's a very positive conversation. You are so responsible and you are growing and thriving. And I see you're at an age where you can really help out. And I'd love for you to be part of our team that we're building here to do various things to support the family. So that's what I did. And then on the flip side with the money, I paid my children an allowance or gave them an allowance. I used a computer program where the allowance was automatically calculated, so no money actually transferred hands, but we talked about how much money they saved at young ages, and they received the allowance for being part of the family, not because they emptied the dishwasher or because they made their bed. Those things were part of the expectations of the team in empowering everybody to live up to the responsibility. But the money that they got in this computerized program help them to learn on a separate level how to navigate money, how to spend money, how to subtract the money we spend, and what happens when we spend money. If we have $10 and we bought a toy for $8, what happens there? And so it's a real great way to teach our children money management skills so they learn at very young ages when we spend money, we don't have the money anymore. And that there's no money tree in the backyard that, I'm not really sure when my children learned that money tree didn't exist, Go back there, children, take a look and see. If you see it, bring in the money. So There's no right. I think the important thing is there's no right or wrong way, Sarah. I think it's really your way, what feels right for you and your family, and how you want to answer those questions of, the reason you would like your children to do chores and the reason you want to pay your children or thinking about paying your children, and what the purpose of that is for you and your values. Because every family has different values, and I think we have to be very careful not to get caught up into what we think everyone else does, and follow along. We need to do what's right for us. That's how our own family thrives.
I absolutely love this conversation, and I will tell you why I love it. I think people can get so caught up in their own beliefs and their own perspectives, and they're sure what I believe is right. And if you do it opposite to the way I'm doing it, you're going to be doing it wrong, and you will be messing up your kids. And they hold on to that so strongly that they leave no space for each family to figure out their own path based on their set of values and their mindset. And within this village, I like to promote non-judgment, because I think this is a space that I'd like to create where people can come and say, I am not sure. This is what I'm exploring. This is what I'd like to achieve. These are my values. How do I navigate that? And to start off this conversation by saying, tune out the noise, was the most absolute perfect way to start off this conversation, because you can have so many different opinions coming at you that it can make you so confused as a mom in terms of what to do for your kids. And I like the steps that you're given here in terms of take a step back and figure out why it's important. Why is either way important to you? And sometimes just taking a note of that really brings the clarity you need to be able to make a decision. And I did it almost very similar what you did with your kids, I did with mine. And my kids are not as grown as yours, so we're still going through the stages, and we still have days where nobody wants to do chores, including me. Yeah. But because we've approached it as a team, we say, all right, as a team, what do we want? Do we want to face having to do everything tomorrow and it being a bigger mess and a bigger chore? Or do we want to take a deep breath, make this as fun as possible, make it into a game, and see how we can get through it together? And most of the times, my kids are up for the game and getting through it together. And if I'm honest, the game helps me get through it, because there's some days where I want to say, please send a fairy to do the dishes.
I hear you.
So I love that you're saying let's explore, but let's explore what's right for us. Is there anything else you think you'd like to add?
I think the only other thing is what's right for you today, because what's right for you today, next week may change, and you're entitled, but make it about what feels right for you. There's no shoulds. Shoulding is in my world, and I'm sure yours too, is just not an acceptable way to be, that we should do this because they do this, or we should do this because we're expected to do this. Or our own friends are shoulding us. Oh, you should give your kids allowance because that's really important. So no shoulding, just tap into what feels right today, and you can revisit it whenever your heart is telling you this is not working. Find something different, or your kids aren't participating, or you want to give them more allowance, whatever you want to do. It's all yours.
I love it. My mom usually says, don't shit on yourself.
Yeah.
So.
I love that.
Just to remind me. All right, Sue, I want to say thanks again for joining us and for helping us with this amazing conversation, and also being open enough to share what you did with your family, while reminding us that everyone needs to find their own path. So thank you again for joining us in the village.
Thank you.
All right, and I want to remind you all, dive deeply into Sue's work. You can find Sue at DeCaroParentCoaching.com, and you will find a wealth of resources to support your family along the way. Until next time, Empowerers. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Village Talk. Now remember, it still takes a village. So if you found value in this episode, be sure to like it and share it with your family and friends. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe and hit that bell icon so that we can notify you of our upcoming episodes. Remember, As we always say in this village, you're just one connection away. Until next time, Empowerers, with love and gratitude from all of us at Empowered Kids TV.